In this movement demo, we're going to be learning how to exercise your pelvic floor. And you may be asking yourself, why is this important? Well, in conjunction with your diaphragm, up top, the pelvic floor and the diaphragm work together to actually keep a pressurized trunk system, which comes in handy when you're lifting heavy weights or you're out in the field. So, what we're going to do is go through two components because it's going to be involving your breath. I'm going to teach Bryce how to first engage his diaphragm and his obliques, and then we're going to go in and tie in the pelvic floor and bring it all together. So I'm going to have Bryce take a big deep breath in, and what he's going to do is imagine that breath, that air, is moving down the front of his chest all the way down to the pelvic floor. We should see all of this expand down here with the inhale. So go ahead, Bryce, inhale all the way, deep, 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 as much air as you can get in. You can see things start to expand down below. And then as he exhales, he's going to think about that air moving up his spine and out the crown of his head. So it's a big circular motion. So go ahead and give me one big breath like that, Bryce. Inhale, air down the front of the chest, down the front of the body, all the way into the pelvic floor. Feel that guy expand. Exhale, pushing that air, that energy up your spine and out the crown of the head. Now, for the pelvic floor, these are actually some very small muscles, and you really shouldn't get much abdominal or glute activation when we're contracting them. So I'm going to have my fingers in here just above his hip bone here, and if I feel him press out into me with his abdominals, he's doing too much. So for this, for guys, it's going to be squeezing the back hole and lifting the balls. For girls, it's going to be squeezing the back hole and then squeezing the front hole. So we're going to go ahead and have Bryce go ahead and do that now. Squeeze the back hole and lift the balls. Good. And the reason why this is important is because when we're doing a movement like a heavy squat, if we just subtly tilt the pelvis anteriorly without the glute activation, we'll get that nice stacked position that we're after. It's when we do a big glute squeeze that it tilts the pelvis too far forward, and we overcorrect into lumbar flexion. So go ahead again, Bryce. Squeeze the back hole. Lift the balls. Good. So now we're going to coordinate this with the breath. Bryce is going to take a big deep breath in the same way we just did before, air moving down the front of the body into the pelvic floor. And when he exhales and pushes that air up his spine out the top of the head is when he's going to be squeezing the back hole and lifting the balls. Bryce is going to keep that contraction on for the entire time that he exhales. So this is going to be dependent on how long it takes for you to actually exhale all that air. So let's get one, Bryce. Inhale the air down the front of the body, fill it up. Exhale, squeeze the back hole, lift the balls, air goes up, spine and out the top of the head. So this is a great way to actually get the neurological, the neuromuscular connection that we're after, and practice it before training, before you even begin your pre-warm-up, warm-up. Because we want this to be automatic. We want this to be second nature. We don't have to think about this when we're training, when we're out in the field. This is a perfect time to practice it. So getting about 3 to 5 minutes of this in before every training session will be ideal.